Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I am Willena, your NEMT startup coach. I am here today to give you the how to start a NEMT in Maryland. Yay! I'm so excited. I've got several of these coming, so if you see the same pink sweater, I'm sorry. It's okay though. It's all good. But anyway, I am going to get started here. Just a couple of announcements. I want to say thank you and many blessings to my current subscribers. You guys have been amazing, and I want to thank you all the new subscribers that have joined my channel. You guys are just showing this community so much love, and I just can't extend my appreciation enough. I want to say thank you to all of the coaching students who have been signing up and keeping my mailbox, my telephone, my text hopping and bumping, and I am just amazed at the response that I'm having, and I'm excited to continue to grow my company and continue to teach and mentor NEMT entrepreneurs like yourselves on this journey. So I want to remind you guys that I am available for appointments. You do have to pretty much contact me. My schedule books up so fast these days. Just email me. I'll send you a link for the package. If you want to get that 50% off deal, please take advantage of it, because in December, the way you guys are doing things, I don't know what my availability will be, but I have seen a lot of questions on how to start a NEMT in Maryland. So I wanted to just go ahead and give you guys the how-tos on that. So number one, let's talk about LLC or incorporating yourself. You should, at this point, if you're this far, at least have researched enough to know that there's 5 essential tips to starting an NEMT. If you have not looked at that video, I'll leave the link in the description box and try to tag it here in this video also for you to be able to click on that. But of course, you definitely want to start your business with a plan. I have my business plan template on the website, NEMTstartup.net. I encourage you to go ahead and seek that out. If you have any questions on the competitive analysis, market research, target audiences, any of that, just go ahead and reach out and send me a quick email. I'll shoot you an email right back. Usually within 24 hours. All right. And then also, let's see. All right, so once you have your corporation established, then, I'm hoping that you've worked on your business credit and that you've gotten all that good stuff going. If not, again, reach out to me. I can help you and teach you how to get that going. Once you've gotten that done and you are actually ready on the transportation side, remember, I coach, my program teaches to get your business side set up before you even think about purchasing a vehicle. Everything needs to be set up for your business, because if you go into this business starting up with just turnkey driving a vehicle and haven't did the framework and the foundation for the business side, you will most likely be in that category of those who fail within the first year. Yes, I'm sorry. I don't want to say that, but it is true. So without further ado, if you guys need mentoring coaching, please reach out. I've got a great special, and we are doing great things. My coaching students, my mentoring students, they are doing amazing. Everyone is just getting up and going, and we're making real progress in this industry. So let's get started. All right, so I am going to be switching screens here. Give me one moment. Here we go. All right, so we are headed here to the application for the PSC in order to receive your authority and for hire driving packet that you will need to submit your application to the state of Maryland. I was so fortunate to speak with Miss Stacy down at the PSC office. She was very helpful. She was very informative, and I'm so grateful to have spoken to her. So if she gets to ever see this video, I want to say thank you and I appreciate you. So I am going to go ahead and go to this application. All right, so we're going to just start reading, And it says, Dear applicant, enclosed is a complete packet of the application materials you must file in order to obtain authority from this commission to operate as a for-hire passenger carrier in intrastate commerce in Maryland. Please contact the Transportation Division at 410-767-8128 for applications for passenger for-hire driver's licenses, which must be completed and filed by any drivers who drive vehicles that transport 15 or fewer passengers. So already we know that we are going to need a for-hire passenger carrier intrastate commerce operating license, and that you definitely must file this in the state of Maryland. It says you may not operate as a for-hire passenger carrier until you have received written approval from the Public Service Commission and your drivers who drive for-hire vehicles transporting 15 or less passengers have been licensed by this commission. So this is going to go through some of the things. This just gives you some more information. She also did send me the application if you want to do transportation back and forth from the airports. That is in a specialized transportation application. I'll put that link in the description box also. It goes, we're going to go down a little further. It says after you have completed the application forms and gathered the required documentation, you may submit your application by mail or in person to the Transportation Division at the address above. The Transportation Division walk-in hours are Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Please allow 6 to 8 weeks for processing your application. If you have any questions about the application, please call the Transportation Division at 410-767-8117. So I don't want to destroy someone's name, but I believe it's Miss Taswell, or email her at her email address located there on the application. So it tells you right here on the application what you're going to need to become a carrier. So in the state of Maryland, you will need your trade name. So that is your business name. You must file your trade name with the Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxation. You'll also need your corporation LLC. So that's a copy of your articles of incorporation in your organization and a current certificate of good standing that you will obtain from the Maryland Department of Assessments and Taxation. Then you will also need TNC. So provide the name of the digital network and website to download digital network app if filing as a transportation network company. So transportation network companies are often Uber, Lyft, and there were a few more. I'm going to switch over to another page because I did look that up. So here we go. Let's look. All right, so these are the things that I have been telling you about, that, Uber and Lyft are coming, so just be careful. But it talks about the transportation network companies. This is a website I found. It's in the University of Oregon, but it just gives some good insights on that it's more ride types, individual versus shared, and it tells us who the key players are for transportation networks. They are the Uber, the Didi, Chuxing Technology. It says it's the largest TNC in the world. Lyft, Grab Holdings, and there's some other ones that they've included from other companies or other countries. So you can get an idea of what transportation networks are to make sure. I'm going back. Okay, there we go. To make sure that everybody's on the same page. So TNC, it also says provide the company name, the mailing address, phone number, and email address of the proposed third party background screener of the carrier's national criminal history record check. Please provide documentation that the company is part of the National Association of Professional Background Screeners or a complete comparable entity approved by the commission. So basically, if you're going to be working for a TNC like Uber or Lyft, you're going to still have to go through this process to become a driver, be a carrier. So remember, keep in mind that this is not just for opening up a transportation company in Maryland. This is for all of your drivers also. They have to go through this process. It says that you will need a WMAT certificate number. So if you intend to operate point to point within the Washington metropolitan region, you must also apply for authority from the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Commission and submit a PAC a copy of your WMAT certificate of authority. So if you're wanting to work within the Washington, D.C., Montgomery, and Prince George counties in Maryland, I forget sometimes that you guys are that close. So yeah, you guys are probably going to need to do that. So go ahead and get that certificate. It gives the information here. You'll also need a Federal Highway Administration docket number, which is a DOT number. So a lot of times I get asked, if in Texas, do you need a DOT number? And the answer is no. South Carolina, no. Georgia, no. Maryland, absolutely. You need a DOT. So if you plan to provide interstate transportation service, contact the Federal Motor Carrier Service Administration if applicable. A certificate of insurance for automobile liability coverage, and if a TNC, documentation of insurance compliance as defined in PUA, that's the code 10-405. So you're going to have to show your certificate of automobile liability coverage, evidence of workers' compensation coverage, or the signed exclusion form. So sometimes there are exclusions for workers' compensation. I know in South Carolina, not Maryland, in South Carolina, you can have up to 3 employees, including yourself, before you have to apply for workers' compensation. So if I'm an employee, I hire 2 drivers, or I'm an employee, I hire a driver and a dispatcher, or I hire a driver and a secretary, a driver and an administrative assistant, anything within 3 employees. If they are on payroll, then you have to get workers' comp in South Carolina. Now, evidently, there might be some exclusions, so just make sure that you check out, do your research on the workers' compensation coverage when you have to get the workers' compensation. Next, you have a rate sheet. And it says it must be submitted with the application and filed with Office of People's Counsel. It gives the address here, and it must include the name, telephone number, signature of business owner, the address, the company name, the rate, fees, and charges clearly explained, trade name, date, and area of service. Guys, I offer a rate sheet. It is based off the Medicare standard rates. For reimbursement, I give the explanation that you take that rate, you can multiply it times 3, you can multiply it times 5, and somewhere in the middle, decide on what your numbers are based on what your competitors are doing. So really listen and fill it out. If you've been in the industry or you've been researching the industry, just start looking around, see who, what NEMT providers you see on the road during the morning and in the afternoon, be looking for them. And then, go on the website, see if you see their rates for service. If not, call them. A lot of times people don't want to give out their information. And just being an entrepreneur, doing NEMT startup coaching, I get it. So in your area, as in Maryland, you guys usually have better rates in the north and the northeast. So really do your research on what you're charging, especially starting out. You want to maintain your competitive edge, but at the same time, you don't want to downplay yourself either. So it's a delicate balance there, but I do offer a rate sheet on NEMTstartup.net that is just a simple template that you can go in, you can adjust, or you can just use the ideas and kind of create, change the colors, the fonts, everything, put in your logo. You can do all of those things in that rate sheet. So take a look at it.